Okay, so the hood's up off the jig for the final time. You can see I've got the upper skin is now hemmed over around the perimeter, hammered and dollied over all the way around. I have a little bit of, I just want to weld up these corners a little bit. I don't want to weld it to this inner structure, but I do want to get a little more material in the corners. So that's not a little fragile spot there. I want to get some steel there. Anyway, so like I said, both sides are done now, and it's back together. And after I do a little bit of seam sealing around this hem, and then I paint out that bottom side steel, then I'll be putting it back on the car. So not quite yet, but soon. We're very close. Well, I almost forgot these little buggers here, and those are for your windshield wiper, or your windshield washer, I should say, nozzles. And it would have been 100% of a disaster once I got the car in there, but once the hood's back on, this is probably the farthest point to try and reach under the hood and work. So now while I got it on this stand, it's easier to just, because I have to file, see these little areas right here. It's a little, one's wider than the other in order to get it directionally in the right spot. So I'm not pushing it in, because once they're in, you can't get them back out. So anyway, yep, almost forgot those little buggers. That would have been a nightmare. Okay, so the hood's back on the car, and took me a little while to get it adjusted. The main thing I was working on was the seam in the front, because I really can't correct that with Bondo in any way. That has to be as good as it is right now. That's what's going to be the finished product. So that one seam had to be concentrated, so I had to shuffle the hood around. On newer cars, the hood hinges don't have sloppy holes like the old days where you had a lot of shims and stuff. It's pretty much, you've got just a tiny bit of adjustment and that's it. So I had to widen out the holes a little bit so that I could slide the hood just a tick forward here and there and kind of shuffle it into position where it needed to go. And I'm going to go shut the hood right now. So that's it. I did some additional fab work in the rear of the car to correct the trunk lid. I had a wider gap to the trunk lid to the bumper than that was on the quarter panels, so I had to do a little bit of correction over there. Let me show you that. So now I had to raise the this section right here, this quarter panel height here. I had to gap that a little bit better and get it lined up better with the bottom of the deck lid. So that's the last little bit of twizzles here and there that I have to do. So now I got to get it down on some transfer dollies here and move this bear into the paint room. So I got a bunch of cleaning up to do before I can make that move. It'll be the first time this car has moved in about 2 years. So I'm pretty happy to make that transition finally. Anyway, that's the next step. Incidentally, I will tell you that this thing has really came in handy the last couple of weeks. I really thought that I was just going to be using it for, the install and taking the hood on and off, but it's helped me a ton. I don't know how I would have managed to handle the weight of this hood without this device that I came up with. Anyway, it worked out really good, and I was able to position it upside down and rotate it to work on the different areas, because it's a pretty large expanse to have to reach over it to try and get the different things. So being able to flip it upside down and right side up while I finished off the inner liner, and then when I had to finish out the edges of the hood, dolling them and so forth, it was just a treat to be able to use something like this. Anyway, like I said, I really don't know how the heck I would have done it otherwise, because this way weighs a pretty good amount, just like an older hood would, and just trying to get it into place without doing damage to the windshield or something else, and having it secure. Big difference from when I worked on my Daytona, which I also worked on by myself, and I had a little catastrophe with that. When I was finishing up the car was in paint and done, and I was putting the cowl together, and I got one of the bolts a little too loose on this side of the car, and the hood was up, and it was on a prop, but the prop was angled, and as soon as I got that bolt loose, the whole hood swung away from me and slammed down on the top of the fenders and the nose. And you want to feel incredibly dumb. That was me that day. Oh my God. What a disaster. But I had to repaint the top of the fender and the nose, and I'm not too happy about that, because I was pretty happy with the way the paint job had come out. So since that day, it's probably about 6 years ago now, 5-6 years ago, I've had in mind to make something like this to try and make sure that the hood doesn't escape my clutches again. Anyway, well, I thought I'd just, before I moved into the other room, get a clear shot of what this thing looks like. I've had it taped up and covered up so long, the greenhouse area and the glass. I thought I'd just take it all off and get a glimpse of it with the wheels that are going to be the finish wheels on the car, and just get an idea what this all looks like before I basically sequester it in there for the next month or two. And helps with the motivation to take a look and see what you've actually come up with here. And I'm not unhappy with it, so hopefully the paint will go swimmingly with no issues, and we'll move on from there. This will probably be the last update on this project for quite some time. No need to drag you through the whole process of the body and Bondo work. That's something that's I have no special skill at, so you're not going to learn anything there, except the fact that I'm an amateur. But anyway, just thought I'd wrap it up for now, and it'll be quite some time before you see any more progress on this, because it's time to get putting the mud down and sanding it back off and then putting it down again and all that good stuff. So I appreciate everybody who watched up to this point. This is not the last you'll see of the car, obviously. I will be posting some pictures on my Facebook page as I go along with the paint work, but no need to make any videos, like I said. So if you want to follow me on the Facebook page, I'll be glad to have you over there. And the album is 2010 Dodge Challenger GTX project, just like the videos. And yeah, I've got about 400 or 500 pictures over there already, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, thanks again for watching up to this point, and see you soon.